It started with laughter. 17-year-old Cassie stood at the doorway of Rusty's bar, surrounded by the heavy scent of oil and smoke. Dozens of bikers in leather turned to stare, disbelief spreading like wildfire. "What's this? A lost Girl Scout?" someone joked. But Cassie didn't flinch. "I'm looking for the Iron Wolves. I have a proposal." That earned louder laughter. She looked small, too clean, too young, holding a notebook like it was armor. Before she could answer back, the deep growl of a Harley cut through the noise. Every man in that room froze. They knew that sound. The door opened, and a tall, broad man with silver in his beard stepped in. On his back, the faded Iron Wolf emblem and a small patch beneath it. Founding member 1971. "Dad," Cassie said softly. The laughter died. Graham Walker scanned the room, then looked at his daughter. "She's got something to say. Let her speak." Cassie's voice trembled at first, but her eyes stayed steady. "My project isn't about bikes or jackets. It's about what happens to soldiers when they come home, and how some find healing in brotherhood. My dad's one of them." The room fell silent for a different reason now. Graham spoke quietly. "These men saved my life when nothing else could." Hank, one of the oldest members, nodded. "Maybe the girl deserves to understand." A few muttered objections followed, but no one dared push too far. By the end of that night, Cassie had earned something rare. A chance. If this story touched your heart, please like, share, and subscribe to Kindness Loom. Cassie's first ride nearly broke her. She clung to her father as the highway curved through misty mountains, her muscles burning, her fear slowly giving way to awe. The world blurred by. Endless road, wind, motion at a rest stop. Maria, one of the few women in the club, handed Cassie a bottle of water. "First long ride always hurts. You'll adapt or you won't." "I'll adapt," Cassie said, even though every bone in her body screamed otherwise. Maria smiled. "That's what I said once. My husband rode with the wolves. He died out here. I stayed because legacy doesn't end when someone's gone. You're here for the same reason, aren't you?" Cassie nodded, unable to speak. Later that day, an older member named Hank told her about his brother, Jimmy, how a single blown tire took his life, and how Graham dragged Hank out of his grief by putting him back on a bike. "These rides," Hank said, "they're not rebellion, they're survival. Grief's easier when you keep moving." Cassie wrote every word down. At the diner that evening, one man wasn't so welcoming. Derek, the youngest of the wolves, leaned across the booth. "You really think you can understand us? You'll finish your school paper and forget we exist." Cassie met his glare. "My dad trusted you with his life. I'm not here to exploit that. I'm here because this brotherhood gave me my father back." Derek looked away first. That night, Graham received a call that made the air shift. Cassie watched his expression tighten, then soften with disbelief. "Who was that?" she asked. "An old friend," he said. "One I never thought I'd hear from again." Tommy showed up 2 days later. His leather jacket was plain, no colors, no patch. The clubhouse went quiet when he walked in. Even Cassie had heard his name, a founding member who'd left 15 years ago after a bitter divide. He looked at Graham, both men frozen between guilt and relief. "You want coffee?" Graham asked finally. "Yeah, coffee sounds good." By the end of that night, the Wolves clubhouse was full. Old members returned, stories resurfaced, and buried anger stirred again. Derek stood near the door, his arms crossed. "My father died believing you betrayed this club," he said to Tommy. Tommy met his eyes. "I wanted us to grow, to use what we learned to help other vets. He wanted to protect what we already had. We were both right." Graham's voice cracked, and I stayed silent, thinking I was keeping the peace. But silence chooses sides, too. The room went still. Then Hank spoke. We did start that veteran outreach program years later. Took a while, but it's alive now. Tommy's eyes filled. You did. Maria smiled faintly. Yeah, you were right all along. Across the room, Derek turned and left, the door slamming behind him. Before you go, wait till you hear what happens next. Stay with us. The next few weeks changed everything. Tommy stayed. Derek came back. And together, the Wolves began planning their biggest memorial ride ever. A tribute not just to the fallen, but to forgiveness itself. Cassie helped design the route, photograph the patches, and record their stories. She realized this wasn't just a school project anymore. It was a healing she hadn't known her father needed. The night before the ride, Maria called her to the clubhouse. On the table lay Graham's old leather cut. Worn smooth by decades of road, he handed it to Cassie. You've reminded us what this club was built on. I want you to have it. Her voice broke. Dad, I can't. You can, he said softly. Legacy doesn't stay in the past. It rides forward. Maria stitched Cassie's name beneath her father's on the back. 2 names. One story. At dawn. 73 bikes lined up outside. The roar of engines rolled through the valley like thunder. Cassie rode beside her father and Tommy, the old wounds behind them. The road open ahead at the Veterans Cemetery. She spoke before hundreds of riders. I came here to study a subculture, she said. But what I found was a family built from broken pieces. The opposite of war isn't peace, it's connection. When she finished, Graham and Tommy stood side by side. Derek joined them. Their hands met briefly, and that small gesture said everything. That night, Cassie uploaded her final project, titled Brotherhood, a legacy in motion. Through her window, she saw her father's Harley start up, Tommy's bike pulling beside it. 2 old friends, finally riding together again. Cassie smiled. Some journeys never end. They just keep moving forward, carrying those brave enough to hold on. If this story touched your heart, please like, share, and subscribe to Kindness Loom, where we bring real stories of kindness, courage, and second chances.